All right, we've been talking for many years.
Yes, we have.
And if you had told me when we started this journey that we would be talking a movie like this, I said, no way. Just because it is different. My quote that was seen when the embargo lifted was like a story, an amazing story, I said, that just digs into your soul. And the studio liked it, so congratulations.
Thanks for all the kind words, man.
Seriously.
It means a lot when we trying to get word out, you know.
It's amazing. Where did this story start for you?
You know, I'm from Oakland, California, about as far from the American South as you can get.
Yeah.
But my family is participants in that second wave of the Great Migration, predominantly from Port Arthur, Texas. My matrilineal family, you say you from Houston. Yeah, but my grandmother, her youngest sister, married Mississippi men who essentially fled the state of Mississippi and didn't go up north to Chicago like everybody else did. They went west, you know, specifically because of what they were fleeing. And my grandfather died, you know, about a year before I was born. I never got to meet him, but he was kind of like a legend in our family. He built the second story of our house over the course of like 5 years with found wood, you know, and was a longshoreman and our family still that house he built is still like kind of the base for my family in North Oakland. And my Uncle James, who was a part of my life all the way up until 2015 when we were making Creed, you know, he was the eldest male member of my family for a long time, and I would spend time, you know, just sitting with him, and all he wanted to do was listen to Delta blues music on vinyl, and I associated that music with him. When he passed away, the music took on a new life for me. I would listen to it and when I wanted to think of him, and if I closed my eyes, you know what I mean, and listen loud enough, it was like he was right there with me. So the movie was kind of made with that concept, if that makes sense.
I'm a music guy as well. I actually run iHeart as well, and so I come from radio and still do it with TV. But the music just touched me so much. We're going to talk about that in a second because one guy in particular, and you know what I.
Oh yeah.
It's guys in his name. All right, multiple characters. Yeah. There is a filming process that you use that I read called the Halo.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
It's basically a harness that you put on that has like multiple cameras, you know, that are getting every facial feature, every detail of my face while I'm giving performances that will help the process along when we need to kind of blend performances together, the twins in particular. So that was one phase of the work that we had to do to kind of create Smoke and Stack, being in the same shot. You know, locked off cameras. I had to do each scene sometimes 4 times, you know, and some with dialogue, some actors pantomiming, you know, sometimes, you know, with, you know, earwigs and listening to, you know what I'm saying, dialogue, and the timing had to be just right, and the blocking had to be just right, and we had small margins for mistakes and errors. So yeah, it was a complex process, but once we got the rhythm of it, it became almost like a challenge to like, yo, how close can we get it, you know what I'm saying, or like how, like we gotta get it perfect, and obviously you gotta move on for certain things, but you know, we looked at it as a challenge, and we had fun with it.
Yeah, it was an incredibly technically complex process for sure. But the Halo rig was proprietary technology created by our visual effects department, our visual effects supervisor Michael Rowley, our visual effects producer. I'm sitting blanking on my man James Alexander. James Alexander. You know, so what it basically is to make sure that it's always Mike's performance. Like when you're looking at the movie, so that's never you know, anything else. We hired another actor who was a twin double, you know, who could do scenes with Mike, and we use a piece of equipment called a techno dolly for about 90% of the twin shots that you see. So it's actually Mike interacting with Mike. We'll have a locked off camera that can do programmable moves. And then we would record it with audio and timing, and then Mike and Percy would then go change clothes, and Mike would go do the other twin side. We would record that, you know, and then be able to stitch those together. It's a unique movie in so many different ways, but what we wanted to do was really and truly treat these guys like 2 different people. I would think about it like, how would I film this if it was just 2 different people? If it wasn't some type of gimmick I was trying to show off. So a lot of times we would stage them. You'll have twins with a bunch of other characters in it, you know, and the shot, it was incredibly time consuming to get those done. But I mean, there's some of the shots I'm most proud of in my career. You know what I mean? Like, and it's very benign. If it wasn't 2 actors, you wouldn't even think about it, you know. And But I think the cumulative effect, like of watching it, is like you think of these guys as two completely different people, you know. And a lot of that is the majority of that, you know, resting on his shoulders, man. And as kind and as generous and as experienced Mike is, you know, he's twice as ambitious. You know what I'm saying? So when you call him up and say, "Hey man, you gonna play 2 roles," I know that he's thinking about a lot of stuff, but the ambitious side of him has already said yes. Let's go. You know what I mean? Like, you know, that's kind of how it is. We would joke on set, you know, and they'll say, "Mike, so what you think? Triplets next?" You know, and he'll always kind of look like, "Yeah, maybe." You know?
I thank you both so much. Congratulations. Love talking with you both.
Same, man.
I was going to say,
Appreciate
buddy guy, dude. You got it. Great to meet you. Good to see you again. I feel like I should give both your characters big hugs. Oh my gosh. Y'all go through a lot.
Yeah.
I know you're professionals, but when you go through the emotions of a character like this, does it take a toll?
I wouldn't say a toll, but you feel it.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's one of the reasons why I love what I do is that I get to explore all the different emotions within me. I find it therapeutic. I find it, I mean, literally, you're exercising so many things. It's a beautiful thing to get to a place with another actor where you can really explore those feelings and express them safely and freely.
Not spoiling anything, but do you like scare? I don't watch trailers going into projects.
Love
Oh,
that.
good.
This one, wow, really gets you. Do you like scary movies?
I don't dislike them. Here's what I like. I
Okay.
like that nervous laughter that I have to turn to cope. And I found that I was doing that last night. Like I was laughing at things that are not funny, but I just like needed something. I needed a little light,
release.
a little release. That's what I like. I like to feel things, you know.
Do you look at each other as a cast, especially telling a story like this? Because you do laugh. There's a lot of music, which I love. But I feel, do you have say, hey, are you okay after like filming a scene that?
Sure.
Yeah.
I think there's a huge sense of checking in with each other. Yeah, I mean the circumstances were very intense.
Yeah.
The rooms that we were in were, it was tough. But I think the laughter did get us through. I mean, we'd check in with each other, and once we had gotten through or over the hill of the situation that we were trying to tackle, we would end it with a little laugh every time, I think.
Yeah, but I think sometimes the scenes that are more tense for the audience are probably the funnest ones for us, and actually the more delicate ones are the ones that we really need to check in on, you know?
Sure.
Good to see you all.
Good morning. Good afternoon.
I feel like, I'm sorry, your characters, man, y'all go through a lot. I mean, some more than others. But what were the emotions like on set telling a story like this?
I mean, we had a really great time. We, I know it was a little bit more morbid in the storyline, but we really had days where we couldn't get through some scenes because we couldn't stop cracking each other up. Mostly because Delroy was extremely funny.
Delroy's a lot funnier, and I think you would agree probably, the film is a lot funnier than people will expect it to be.
Yes.
I don't watch trailers going into projects, so I didn't know what to expect.
Ooh,
And
I
I'm
like
staying,
that.
see?
I like that.
And I'm staying spoiler free today. We all are. But when it took a turn, I'm like, okay, here we go. and I don't like scary movies. Like my mom loves them. I'm a big chicken. So,
Right.
you know, that's a fair assessment. I love your reaction just now when you went, oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I love that. I have a friend who does that as well. But when we had our first trailer, it was a little bit more of a teaser,
Yes,
which I
hey,
liked. And I
me
said,
too.
you actually can see this teaser. But then the second one came out and I said, don't watch
Don't watch
that
this one.
What was your first reaction to the story when you heard about it?
Excuse me, my stomach. Appreciation, because I could, from the first time that I read the script, I always felt like he was using this genre to tell a much bigger story.
Oh, yeah.
And the bigger story really resonated for me. And I also think it's really contemporary. It's
Yes.
very contemporary.
Yes, good point.
And that resonated big time, big time.
I also do radio, and I come from the world of radio, so music's always been a big thing for me. Man, the music in this movie is
Phenomenal.
But so when you're filming scenes, can you hear I mean, I know I've been to sets, and I know that the music isn't always there. But could you hear?
In this particular situation, there was some stuff that was performed live, but the beautiful thing that we had was that a lot of the music was composed in advance. This is how visionary Ryan was and Ludwig was and all of that. And they played stuff for us in advance so that we would know the sounds.
It's a grounding in the, an added grounding in the work.
Yeah.
Because it's like another character for me in this.
No
this
question.
film.
Excellent.
No question.
Yeah, I mean, and again, I was doing this, tapping my leg the entire time. People next to me were like, Dave. I'm like, no, man, you just got to
Feel
really
it.
get, you feel it, and it also tells another story as well. How did you cool down after some your scenes? All y'all go through a lot.
From the actual fire.
Well, okay, yeah.
Physically, we were, especially when we did that ancestor scene in that giant bonfire that we were in the middle of. That was definitely like being in hell.
Damn.
All right.
Damn, Lily.
All right. That'll make people want to see.
Damn.
No.
No, that makes you want to go see
It
the
does.
film.
It does
Yes.
for me. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
'Cause, yeah.
And then cooling down from her rage. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, we just laugh. We have a good time. I mean, I think you can tell that we've become such a family, working from
And it made
each
it
other.
the genuine connection, or organic. Nobody decided. It was completely organic, and it makes it more smooth to make a film like this, which is to say a big film with lots of moving parts. It makes the process more smooth.
Congrats, and I'm glad everybody's okay.
I said one more thing for Houston is that this film invites you to participate.
Yeah.
This actually is the film that you cut up in the theater with.
Yeah.
Your reactions are invited. So I don't think this film was made for you to stifle your reactions and to play it stoic. This film was made to evoke and to engage with the film and to evoke emotion. So for your viewers and listeners, man, get in there, laugh, gasp, do call and response like you in the church. This is a movie that you are welcome to be a part of.
Amen. And as a matter of fact, the studio saw my response and they loved it. So
Really?
Do you have IMAX? You're in Houston?
Yes.
Do you have IMAX, an IMAX theater?
Oh, big one. Edwards Marquee. You're right, IMAX. Got to see it.
Gotta see
Friend's
that.
the manager over there. Hi, Demir. And it's a great. They have a good VIP too. All right, y'all. See ya. Good to see you all. There will be no trouble from me today because I've seen what happens when some of your characters looking at you. Did you learn guitar for this role?
Yes, I did.
Tell me about
I
that.
did. So after I got off of being on tour, I kind of started just picking up the guitar, just playing it here and there, because I'm a musician first, so I try to incorporate, different things in the music. But I had no idea that I would have to really lock in and learn the fundamentals, for this project. So I'm glad I started doing that. I had the opportunity to work with Randy Bolin, who is an incredible guitarist, and he kind of taught me the fundamentals of the blues style. So every week I would go to Philly. I would travel to Philly on the Amtrak, and we would go to a studio and we would practice. And so once I got to start filming, I kind of had it down pat. Yeah.
Just amazing. One particular scene, I don't want to ruin anything, but you're just like, wow. And when I learned, I'm like, no way. Your musical skills too, man. There's a scene, is that you singing?
Yeah.
No, because I'm a music guy, and I love music. That's good job.
Thank you, man. Hey, nice one. Yeah. I listen. I think I consider myself an actor by trade. You know, a lot of my singing would just only happen in a pub. A few Guinnesses in.
That's where I sing.
Yeah.
But you're way better than I am. I need to give people Guinnesses to make sure that they like what I'm doing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right, the audience.
Sound great at like 2 a.m.
Yeah, they're like, oh man, you're great, you're the best.
Yeah.
Wake up the next day, God forbid anyone's recorded it.
Right.
But good job.
Thank
Do you
you.
like scary movies?
No.
See, I don't even.
How
I don't
did you
either.
know? What gave it away?
No. Because my mom loves them. I'm the biggest chicken.
Yeah, I don't do horror films typically. But hey, when Ryan Coogler says he's doing something, I don't care what it is. I am going to be a part of that. I understand how scary it is for you guys to watch it. It was a joy for us to make it. That was the complimentary aspect of it. Is as gritty and as dirty and as grimy as it got, we had a ton of laughter and jokes and just freedom and joy on that set to make it.
Only on the Backstage Experience.